Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back with an interesting product to unbox for you guys today. I'm going to do a little bit of a field review of this product. And this product is something that I believe in a survival situation. Now, first thing I want to talk about is what's the product. The product is the Benjamin Trail NP Nitro Piston. This is a break barrel pistol. Shoots .177 caliber pellets. Now I'm going to read some information on the back of this box while you look. The power source is a nitro piston. It's a break barrel pistol, .177 caliber. It's a single shot. Let's see, it weighs 3.4 pounds. Hopefully you can see that. It's not glaring you. 16-inch overall, rifled steel barrel. This is rifled, folks. It has rear sight adjustable for windage and elevation. Fiber optic sights, dovetail mount rail, so you could mount some sort of optics on it. Cross bolt safety. Now, the velocity, it says right here, real big, 625 feet per second. Now that's if you're shooting alloy pellets. If you're shooting lead, it says up to 525. Now, from what my experience has been, I'm getting around between 400 and 500 feet per second with lead pellets. Let's lift this up. I want to see what's in the package here. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty good. So first thing, looks like some paperwork or something. Slide this baby out. There's nothing left inside there. That's empty, so I'll set that aside. So it looks like we have an owner's manual, which most people don't read. Here is the actual pistol itself. Let's take a look at that. Got fiber optic sights. Looks like they're adjustable for windage and elevation. It's nice, heavy steel. Front sight post is pretty heavy duty feeling. .177 caliber. There's the dovetail. Amount of scope. There's the cross bolt safety. See that right there? Right there. Red is for fire. The trigger group. Looks like it has a slight bit of a rail here for something. Nice feel to it. So what is this other piece? This other piece is the leverage point so that you can, oops, put that on upside down. It goes like this, and it pops into place. And what it does, it gives you leverage so that you can cock this thing. Once you cock it, you put your pellet in here, and then you close this breech, and it will fire. So let me go grab some pellets, and we'll start playing with it. Okay folks, I'm back with some pellets. These are .177 caliber, 10.5 grains. Let's take a look. See what these babies will do. So you open the breech, just like so, and then you take your pellet and you put it inside just like this. Push it flush, and then you close the breech. Make sure your safety's off. Do your little bit of aiming, sorry about that, and then fire. Boom. Alright, hopefully that'll hold. The tree over there about, I don't know, 15 yards away or something. Got a flyer there. I didn't stay steady. Got my dogs walking all around me. It has a real solid feel to it. It doesn't feel weak or anything like that. It feels like a really solid little air pistol. Pretty good group. That was target number 1. I'm going to put up a target number 2. I'll try to get a little bit more stable in my shots. Here comes my second batch of shots. This is with the pistol. Sorry about that. And I'm not going to be using this. I'm going to be cocking it without this piece. So let's see what that group's going to look like. I'm about 15 yards away. And I'm also going to be using a stick to brace for my shots. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to take my time a little more with these shots. There's one. Two. Three. Four. Five. Six. Last one, folks, number 7. Lucky 7. Let's go for a bullseye. Seven. That's not a bad group, considering I had a shooting stick. If you look at my thumb in relation to the group, that's a pretty good sized group. That's pretty crazy, folks. It's a lot more accurate than I thought it would be. Again, see that? So that's about 15 yards. Okay, folks, you can see that I have a third target. I'm going to back out to about 30 yards and we'll see how it does. I'm also going to use the stick as a rest like I did in the last group. We have 7 shots. That's at 30 yards with the pole. Sorry about that. So here's my thumb. Fairly tight group for 30 yards. Not bad. Okay folks, here we're going to back way out to about 50 yards. We're going to use a pole as a rest and we'll see what happens. I don't know how that's going to go, so I'm going to back out a little bit. About to there maybe, in case I miss, you'll see it hit the tree, I guess. Looks like we have 4 hits. One, two, three, 4. You can see underneath all the pellets from the previous shooting. One, two. I see one right here. I'm looking around the tree to see if I see anything, you know, where I might have missed. I see one there. There's one right there, so I must have barely missed it with that one, because crazy. 50 yards. Well folks, there you have it. There is the Benjamin Trail NP 177 caliber break barrel pellet pistol with the nitro piston. The sights are pretty cool. Hopefully you get to see that. They're kind of flimsy, like, you know, you might bump them or something, but it does have that dovetail in case you wanted to mount something. Fairly accurate out of the box, and the thing that's cool about it is it's adjustable for elevation and windage. Now let's go back and let's look at these targets one more quick time. There's 15 yards. Not bad. 6-shot group. And then I did 15 yards with the rest. I had a pole. That was pretty cool. It was pretty tight. Pretty good group. 30 yards with the rest. Not too bad. That would still kill probably a rabbit. And 50 yards, I don't know. I only had 4 shots out of 7. And they were everywhere. I don't know if that'd get me a rabbit or not. And the reason I'm talking about rabbits is because when you're talking about a survival situation and you talk about, you know, what kind of weapon do you want to have, a lot of people would say that they want a firearm, they want a gun, and I agree. Something as simple as a 223 Remington or maybe even a 22 long rifle would be a good choice. But they do have a downside, and that is noise. They make a ton of noise. This thing was fairly quiet because of the nitro piston. It doesn't have a spring inside. It's a piston filled with nitrogen, and you basically compress that. So it's a pneumatic type operation instead of a spring mechanical operation. So the result of that is, again, it's a little bit quieter than something like a 22 would be. The other thing that I think that's nice about something like this is in a survival situation, weight might become a factor. If you're carrying 500 rounds of pellets, you're carrying a small container like this, something small that can fit easily in your back pocket. This container can also be doubled up for several other uses. You could open it up and put this over a fire and have a very small frying pan to cook something. You can also put some sort of punk wood in here. You know, obviously take the pellets out, put some punk wood or some cotton cloth in there, and you could char this over the fire and make char cloth in this container. Another thing to think about is when you're dealing with 500 rounds, again, it's very small, very compact, and very easy. So you could stock up on thousands of rounds and put them in your location where you're keeping your bug out bag and things of that nature. And if you look at the, say you have 2,000 rounds, for example, 5, 10, 15, 20, that would be 4 of these. So it'd be about that tall. If you have 2,000 rounds of 22 long rifle, which would be the smallest firearm basically that you could get, 2,000 rounds of 22 would be quite a bit larger than that. So now you're dealing with the weight issue. Even the smallest, like I said, 22, the weight issue is a factor. Now, when I talk about survival situation, and you guys probably think I'm crazy because I'm saying get something like this or get some like a break barrel rifle, you're probably thinking I'm crazy. You're probably thinking, man, you should be, there's deer and elk and you know, all kinds of game out there. And you're right about that. There are deer and there are game and elk and things like that, and that definitely has to be put into the scenario when you think about survival. But in my opinion, when a survival situation breaks out, the deer and the elk and the cows and horses and all of those things are going to get shot up first by people that aren't going to survive. It's going to be people that end up with something small like this, taking small game, birds, you know, squirrels, cats, mice, chipmunks, rabbits, things like that that are going to sustain your fuel that you're putting into your body. Mice, rats, things like that. Small things. Now, things that not everybody wants to eat. But when you're looking at calorie intake over a long situation, something like this, I think will get the job done. And that's why I picked this up. I think it's a great little weapon. I think it's quiet, lightweight. You could put it in a pack very easily. You could almost conceal this thing a little bit. You know, I could probably kind of hide this thing a little bit and be somewhat concealed. I mean, granted, I'm walking around and, you know, you can still see me or whatever, but, you know, walking by out in the woods, you're semi-concealed to some extent with this thing. With the rifle, now you see this bulge in my pocket, that's not even it. That's my fire starter that was in my pocket bulging out. So this thing, fairly concealed. Nothing too crazy. Pull that baby out and you got rabbits, you got meat. So that's my opinion on this as a survival weapon. So again, I want to say thank you for watching the video. I hope that you got some good useful information out of the video. Please feel free as always to like this video, share this video, leave comments down below. Go check out my Facebook page and give that a like. And until next time, have a beautiful day. Don't forget to subscribe, please. I'd love to have you. Bye bye now. Go out and get yourself one of these. I think that's going to be the ticket. Peace. Eat some snakes. Here in the Southwest we got snakes, and they're good eating.